Hello YouTube. I have I had a very interesting week this week. There were three main things that happened that I wanted to talk about today. They all involve money, which is nice. Well, the first thing I want to say is that nothing in this video is financial advice. Either trust me or don't. I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm just giving you my opinion and what I'm doing, because what I do, I think always obviously is a good idea. All right, let's get into it. The first thing I want to talk about are markets. So whether it's the crypto market or the traditional stock market, everything's plummeting, right? I just saw a headline that said they're officially declaring it a bear market for TA people. We've been in a weekly downtrend for a while now. So we have already been in a bear market, but now that they're publicizing it on the news, things are getting a lot more interesting. I think a lot of people are freaking out because recession is another word that a lot of people have been talking about in the media, but this is going to be my third major drawdown in the past 4 years, and it feels very similar to past ones, so I'm not too nervous. I'm buying slowly, dollar cost averaging, making some strong positions, and then we'll see what happens. One thing I want to note about how the media is portraying inflation and recession and bear market and how low things are going to go. I've been seeing a lot of stupid kind of like either memes or serious headlines from news outlets, and the like exaggeration or the framing of these statements are very similar to the euphoria that we had last year around this time. So I feel like we're reaching a peak and everybody is looking towards one side. Everybody's looking bearish right now. So I'm going to try to look bullish. We'll see if that pays off in the short term. But that's what I'm seeing after, like 5 years of like trading. Maybe 6. I don't know. I guess it depends on what I consider actual understanding and practice. All right. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was I just used Apple Pay the first time this week, and it was a very cool experience for me because it was so easy, right? And the fact that the card that I ordered about a month ago still hasn't arrived in the mail, but I was able to use the details from the app to add it to my phone and then pay to buy food with it. It really felt like I was living in the future. And the payment rail is the exact same as the credit card system or like the legacy system that we've had for the past 50, 60 years. But just the ease of use on the consumer side, so great, right? When I was a cashier at the bookstore, so back in like, I don't know, 2014 or 2015, a guy came in and he asked if he could use Apple Pay, and I was the supervisor at the time. The person at the register who I was overseeing, they couldn't understand him because I think Apple Pay had just come out, and so they had no idea what it was. And I heard about it because I was into Apple at the time, right? I still am, I guess. But, you know, those registers that we were using were, like, in my opinion, decades old. So they had no, like, ability to, you know, sync up with phones or anything like that, right? And so, right, that's like, let's say 7 years ago. It took me hearing about it 7 years later to using it and thinking it's superior to swiping a card or using the chip, right? It's so much faster, and it's more convenient because you could leave your card at home or somewhere safe. when you don't need to bring it with you to like a store. All you need is your phone. Similarly, I feel that Bitcoin is in the same type of area now as Apple Pay was back in 2015. So like some places accept Bitcoin, and there's going to be a push in the next year that you can start paying for your goods and services using Bitcoin at traditional registers, like at Chipotle, for example, right? And so in 5 to 10 years, it's gonna catch on, just like Apple Pay has. And me being very, slow to adopt things, I feel very fortunate to kind of like catch the Bitcoin bug so early on as I did. And I see in the future the same type of growth that the Bitcoin network is going to have as Apple Pay has had. So I'm really excited for the future, right? Because Bitcoin is going to help the merchant and the customer, right? Right now, only Apple Pay only helps the customer. So Bitcoin is a superior monetary network, and that's all you need to know. So that was the second thing that I observed this week, and I'm excited for the future. All right, the last thing I want to say, and I think this might be the most important thing, is how crypto, more specifically Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, I guess, right? Those assets, whether you consider them assets or crypto assets, those are powerful for young people like me, right? I'm 29. I would love to buy a house, but unfortunately, since I don't work at like a normal job, I don't get a W-2, right? So it's either independent contractor work or what is it called? Self-employed salary. So it's hard for banks to give me a loan to get a mortgage or anything like that, right? But this week, using my Litecoin, I was able to get a loan from a company, and I was able to deposit the loan into a crypto exchange and immediately buy more assets with it, right? So that is freaking cool. Like, I don't have to become a W-2 slave, right? Get a corporate job, get a W-2, and then have my income be good enough to receive a loan from a bank. I can do it all with cryptocurrency, and just a few companies or a few apps that'll give me a loan, right? And so young people who like don't have houses yet or don't have assets that they can borrow against, this is a powerful tool for you to use so that you can, right, improve your quality of life or invest in other things, and kind of just get extra credit, right? I always used to think credit was a bad thing, but if you use credit correctly and you're able to tolerate the risk, then credit is a powerful tool. And especially in times where there's bear markets, I think having the ability to get credit or just like any sort of liquidity is extremely useful, because then you can buy the dip, right? You can protect your assets that you already have, or you can just improve the quality of your life without having to sell for like either a taxable event or a loss or something like that, right? And obviously, right, getting loans are risky, especially if you can't pay them back, but if you do the research, right, if you plan strategically, everything that you do should be expected, and like any outcome should be expected, so that you can manage your risk appropriately, whether posting more collateral, sorry, kind of got close there, whether you post more collateral or pay down the debt, you'll be able to manage, right, So that was like a crazy experience because I posted my collateral, the Litecoin, on Saturday, and because it wasn't a business day, it had to wait till Monday to deposit. But on Monday, I got an email saying to verify my identity. I did, and then on Tuesday, they gave me the money, right? So less than 24 hours, I was able to get a huge loan. Not huge, but I maybe, I don't know. Huge is relative, right? I was able to get a loan and use that money to get things, to purchase additional things that I wanted, right? And that's such a powerful, sorry for the finger. That's such a powerful tool. And I think a lot of young people can utilize this tool if they don't have traditional assets like houses or what else? I don't know. Other types of things that they can borrow against. Because once you know the game, and right, the game is always changing, so you have to always be willing to adapt. But once you know what the game is, then you can work you can play with the system rather than be like a victim of the system. So that was also an amazing thing that happened this week. All right, last thing, if you guys have any questions or comments, please message me or leave them down below. It looks like it's gonna rain. I love talking about money. I love talking about crypto. I love talking about strategy-based decisions, whether it is real life or a game like Settlers of Catan. Anyway, yeah, feel free to open a discussion. I love questions. I love pizza and I love people. Family. Peace and love. That's it. Goodbye.